Welcome to the Standing O Podcast.
A Steve and Adam comedy project.
We know a little about most things and a lot about nothing.
It's like the time I brought a friend to like a river house and he accidentally shot my grandpa with a bottle rocket.
Was it a friend we know?
No, it was like a neighbor friend, and so there was like a 10-foot cliff that goes into the Merrimack, and he was sitting on a lawn chair like a few feet from the cliff.
Oh, shit.
Hits his shin, he starts cursing F-bombs.
Yeah.
And he almost stumbles off the cliff into the
Holy
river.
Shit. Your friend
Luckily,
killed your grandpa.
we ran straight into the woods.
Oh, I can imagine. So did he ever know it was you guys?
He definitely know. We were like 10 feet away from him. We were like throwing bottle rockets.
That's hilarious, though.
So we just let the situation diffuse, and
Yeah.
How long did that take?
I don't think he still ever got over it. He was still pretty pissed.
I ever tell you guys about, it was like one of the first summers David came home from college, and I was having those crazy dreams where like I would get like shaken awake like every night without fail. Every night I would get like
night
jarred
terrors?
awake. Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with me? I'm like, hey, do I gotta get a sleep study? Am I being haunted?
Were you dying? Are you
I'll
dying?
get there. I'll get there. But yes. And so I'm like freaking, and I kept on waking David up. I kept on just being like, what? And he's like, and he'd like wake up. He's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. I keep waking you up. Because it would be like, it felt like something was waking me up. So I always thought it was David. And I'm like, dude, I am sorry, man. I'm like, I'm going to just have to start sleeping in my room. I feel bad waking you up every night. And one of the times me saying that, he just starts dying laughing. Apparently, he would shake me every night. I would start snoring, and he would just jolt me awake and then pretend to be asleep. And he did that for, like, the better part of, like, 2-3 months, probably. And I'm legitimately, like, I'm fucked up now. Like, I'm thinking, I either can't sleep, I'm haunted, you know? I'm, like, freaking out. And really, he was just shaking me once a night. He's like, yeah, you snore so goddamn loud. So I'm like, so he wanted to wake me up so I'd stop snoring, but then also mess with me and make me believe that something is wrong with me, which is a fun prank.
That is a pretty good prank.
Have you ever seen this similar to what David did? You see someone sleeping, and like, you just have a little urge in you. You just want to go right up to their face and just scream as loud as you can.
We lived together for like 4 years. How'd you never do that to me or anyone?
Did I do anything weird?
No. I mean, well, yes.
I was
gonna
stop.
I was a pretty normal guy.
No, you weren't. But you never did anything like scream at me while I'm asleep.
I light off bottle rockets in your room when you're sleeping.
you and Groupus just stuck it under the door and lit it. And
wait, did that really happen?
Yeah, we laughed our ass off.
And me and Olivia didn't wake up.
We burned the carpet.
We had drunkenly gone to sleep, so I wake up like to pee in the middle of the night, and there's just the stick, and then like a black mark around like where it had exploded.
Blamed it on the neighbors. Like, yeah, they were lighting off rockets.
There's another time I went downstairs and they go, Adam, don't come up, and then just a firecracker just falls down the stairs at me. And I mean, that's pretty funny stuff. There's also the time that I fell asleep on the couch, and you and Kelly immediately go after me, Adam, and then I wake up and go, oh, sorry, were you asleep?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what weird stuff you did.
Not as much as you.
Not as much as me. You just said I didn't do anything weird.
I did not say that.
You said nothing.
And then he stopped himself.
And then I said, well,
and
yeah.
Go back on the track
all the
there,
goddamn time.
I said actually all the damn time, but you never did anything like scream me awake.
Nah, okay.
You know.
Did you guys see that viral video of the Amish guy at a gas station loading like 4 cases of 30s into his car at the time, and then he gets over to his truck, and there's like probably 30 or 40 cases of beer, and he's just loading them in his car.
That's awesome.
Just
were you?
Or no, not in their car, in his wagon.
Oh,
a big wagon.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was like, this story doesn't check out, but
he sounds like he woke up in a bad mood. He's like, fuck this being Amish shit. I'm buying a car and buying 40 30s, and I'm done.
We're just gonna
it wasn't an Amish guy. It was a Budweiser employee.
Yeah, he might have just been delivering the beer, and the video might have been like in reverse.
Yeah,
because it looks like he was loading them in his car.
Yeah,
or into his wagon.
Have you ever heard the conspiracy theory that Disney made the movie called Frozen so that if you Google Walt Disney Frozen, it will bring up the movie rather than the fact that Walt Disney's body is frozen and
It is
preserved.
frozen and
Yeah.
preserved?
And for whatever reason, science, or they're going to bring him back to life or something. For whatever reason, he wanted his body frozen. And it's, like carbon freezing, like Han Solo style.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, who knows if that's actually why they did it. But regardless, yeah, I'm willing to bet pre-Elsa Frozen, if you looked up Walt Disney Frozen, it would bring up an article about how he's preserved.
Preserved.
And now if you bring it up, it'll bring up, the movie. I want to be cremated and my ashes sprinkled on a Jack in the Box taco. And you guys have to.
I think
have
you've
to
already
eat it.
told me that before.
Yeah,
I will honor your wish.
yeah. And I'm getting Jack in the Box tacos today, probably.
Ooh,
I've been
nice.
doing that every time I come over, and now as I come over more and more often,
This Jack in the Box is good over here.
it's great.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a
good one.
really good Jack in the Box.
It is.
The one on Fifth Street isn't bad either.
It's the service. The aesthetics and architecture of it, A+, phenomenal. Service is an F.
Really?
This-
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I've only been there once, but I enjoyed it the other day. The tacos
It used to
were-
be an old bank, so it's kind of relaxing
Yeah, it
and
looks
has
cool.
that kind of bank feeling.
It's like that. The Wendy's in Warrenton.
Oh,
That was
I
the
think that was the first.
That was the first new Wendy's.
Do
we
you
were
guys
in a
remem-
movement. We're in a movement right now where fast foods are taking over banks or some type of old buildings, and they're renovating them, and making them their home.
Remember the cheese they hid in our drawer that we didn't know about for years?
I was one of the people that hit.
Yeah, and I remember you were fucking with us, and we're acting like we don't care, and then as soon as you leave, we're like, "So you think there's actually something?" We're like,
Yeah, I remember that.
Of course we care,
I was there for a year and a half. at
Yeah,
least.
and all it was a single slice of cheese under the silverware tray, which is so funny. And the funniest thing is that at a certain point, it disappeared. So when we moved out, it wasn't there, which means Jack knew about it and was fine with it for
Jack
some
knew
reason.
about it.
We
was
didn't
playing-
know about it.
yeah.
We would have known if we found it. That's the thing that they've been pranking us with. Leaves one thing left, and that's Grant found it. Grant found it and just threw it away. And the funniest part of that is that he found cheese in the silverware drawer, probably super moldy, and just thought, this makes sense. He had that
question it,
low of
yeah.
an opinion of us that he that's not even worth bringing up. You guys want to get going?
Welcome to the podcast.
Do you? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Well, welcome to the Standing O podcast.
Standing O podcast.
This week we got me, Sam, and Steve on.
Hello.
We're talking about really as simple as it sounds, the zombie apocalypse, the inevitable zombie apocalypse.
Inevitable.
And,
it's coming.
So
how-
if we're going to talk about the zombie apocalypse, let's first establish what zombies we're talking about.
Yeah, what type of zombies? I think there's probably 4 type of zombies. There's Walking Dead zombies, which are super slow and getting like a fast walk at the most. There is World War Z zombies, which are so terrifying. They don't eat people; they're about spreading it.
I think they're
They
the
just
worst
bite people.
kind.
I think they would be the toughest zombie.
There's the I Am Legend zombies.
I Am Legend zombies.
They are
Nocturnal.
sensitive to the light.
Yeah. So I forgot about those. Yeah. So, but they're like they're like strong and smart and stuff. So would you take an intense zombie like that? Because then you can at least do shit during the day and stuff.
Did you ever play the game Left 4 Dead?
Yes.
I like to think of those. Like when I think zombie apocalypse, I think of those. They're like pretty quick.
You meet in the middle. World War Z would be next to impossible. Walking Dead would be easy. You go in the middle and you go like Zombieland style zombies. Or they
Right.
just run straight to you and they're dummies.
Like,
But
if
they're
it
not
depends-
nocturnal.
It depends on like the person of that zombie. Like if they were a fast runner when they were
That's
human,
true. Yeah.
they still have that ability
Or, like,
to run fast.
If like they're like a Joe Coughlin type of zombie that can run for a long distance, but like they can't like lift any amount of weight. If
Bruce
they're
Jenner.
me, then they're like they can run like pretty fast and like probably bench like 230, probably like that type of
The
zombie.
meathead of a zombie.
Yeah, real beefcake.
Real beefcake.
That's not the zombie. You don't want to run across me as a zombie, and you're gonna have your hands full.
I think if I was in a zombie apocalypse, zombie apocalypse. Sorry, had a stroke. I think I would name all of them like the same thing. It's like every time I see one, I'm like, oh, I got a Frank coming at me.
Got a
Or
Frank.
or like a Steve.
Wait, you name them all the same thing, but then you give them different names?
No, they're all the same name. We just pick
Why
one.
not just call them zombies?
That's kind of a menacing term. I like that.
Yeah.
Did you notice the
Well,
names
in the
I picked?
Walking Dead, do they call them zombies?
I call them walkers.
Walkers. Yeah, we got some walkers.
Walkers.
We got some walkers coming up.
No one wants to call them full-on zombies.
That's
I don't
my
like
least
it.
favorite thing about zombie movies is that they act like they've never seen another zombie movie. Like, if there were zombies in real life, if they showed up, everyone would immediately be like, nice.
We have been preparing for this.
There's
We've
zombies.
seen all types of zombies.
But in movies, they're always like, it's some sort of undead person that walks, and it's like, they're fucking zombies.
I wonder what that means.
Now, I can't quite put my finger on it.
Hey, Chip, you remember that one thing that came about a couple years ago in the backyard?
Yeah, they just act like they've never seen a zombie movie, and that's always such a. They end up spending time as they're like, it might be some ancient folklore. They have some stupid reason that goes along with it.
Yeah, there always is.
Yeah, maybe zombie movies don't exist in a zombie movie.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta. We're getting off topic. I want to keep talking about this here.
So we have agreed on the type of zombies, kind of a hybrid of...
But also, there was one more style we haven't talked about that you two were talking about before we started.
Oh, hot babe zombies?
Hot babe
yes.
zombies.
I am
I think
not
that's-
done visiting this topic.
That's probably the worst one out there because they...
It'd be so enticing.
charm
It'd be
you with their
distracting.
looks.
Do they shoot out of the
They're
thing?
like.
They're like fembots.
I like
yeah.
a girl of that caliber.
They're fembot zombies, essentially.
It'd be like sirens, from like Greek mythology. They sing you into the rocks. These zombies are like, hey, come hang out with us. We're hot babes.
yeah.
Hey, yo, Copernicus.
Yeah.
Hey, you with the
And then
shirt.
you're like, hey, I'm gonna go check out the hot babes. Turns out they're zombies.
Turns out they're zombies.
I was talking to my parents about the zombies and about the COVID vaccine, and I was saying, I'm like, I Am Legend, they tried to cure whatever, and they all became zombies. And I'm like, I'll get the vaccine because if everyone else is going to be zombies, yeah, it'd be kind of fun to fight zombies for a bit, but for the most part, it's like,
Yeah, you're
life's
alone,
already
right?
so goddamn
You wanna
something.
get back to some normalcy.
And I'm like, if you're telling me there's no more manufacturing, they're not making anything. They're not making beer. They're not making any alcohols, coffee, your favorite foods. All of that stuff is gone. How badly do you want to be alive?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
so, and then it brings
No
up
Pop-Tarts?
no poop
No
darts.
Pop-Tarts.
Angie brought up the hospital, and they're like, yeah, there's going to be good shit at the hospital. But everyone else is thinking that. So it's going to be pretty crowded, and there's going to be crazy
Facts.
people.
People don't know all the information yet.
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
believe you said that. I was going to pretend that was my idea.
No one would have thought you were
We
smart
can-
enough to think
we
of
can
that.
cut that out. We'll just say it's been maybe a few months or a year, up to a year
After the outbreak.
post
After patient zero.
After patient zero, and I would just say being just on a body of water.
Oh.
Have you ever seen a zombie swim or in a body of water?
Yeah.
In Left
You
4
have?
Dead, in Left
No,
4 Dead,
no,
Oh.
no. But I agree
in Left
with
4
your
Dead,
point.
they could walk through like 3 feet of water.
Okay,
They
well,
couldn't
I'm talking
swim.
about
They can't swim.
so either like on the ocean or like on a riverboat that just cruise down the river. So
Will
you're
there
still
be more
close to
than 3
land.
feet of water?
It's
Yes.
pretty deep.
Yes.
Then you'll be good. So
Standard.
what's your food like solution?
Yeah,
My
that's
food
tough.
solution. That's why I think once a month I would have to make port and
So like,
I would
would
have
you
to
find like
have-
an island somewhere
I
that
would
like has like
cruise-
fresh fruit?
no, I'd
No,
probably
he
like
was-
go to St. Charles and like dock up and
Yeah.
then just like find a store.
Find one of the
That'd be the
open-
riskiest part of my life is going off for a
Yeah,
day
so-
and foraging for food.
I think the number one way to survive is to be good with your surroundings, knowing shortcuts, knowing how to move around and escape easily. And I've thought about this before. A college campus, I think, would be perfect. There's multiple levels in all the buildings. You can
Right.
you remember when you'd have to get across campus in like 10 minutes and it'd be raining? All of the shortcuts you could take through the buildings.
You know where all the
you'd
best
cut 15,
bathrooms are?
15 minutes off your trip. Yeah, there's tons of classrooms and bathrooms. So like you get something chases you, you just hop into the closest building. You can be on another floor in a matter of seconds. You can go in and out. You can just most of tiled ceilings. You can have different classrooms that have stuff hidden in the ceiling, so if someone stumbles across, they're not going to find it. But if you're going, all of a sudden something's chasing you, you hop into the geography building, you go over to Mr. Hornschmeyer's class, you pop open the ceiling,
Kill the blue
know?
dog first.
yeah,
I think that'd be good, but I think there would be a time limit on that because you run out of food like in the mess halls.
though you can still go out to the surrounding towns
So you
because
venture
I
out.
think also on a campus, there's a lot of grocery store, there's a lot of stuff close. The
Right.
city's kind of built around the campus, and also Mizzou has that like steam tunnel system. You know about that?
Mizzou?
Yeah, Mizzou has this like these like steam tunnel type things. I'd see the gas coming out of them, and I remember it's a thing. When you go to Mizzou, there's like 7 things you're supposed to do: get on top of Jesse Hall, kiss the 50-yard line, find your way into the tunnels.
Streak
So wait,
across
you're
the
streak across the quad.
Talking about tunnels right now?
Plus, I mean, you know, your first day of freshman year, how much you get lost in buildings.
Right. Yeah,
So
it's-
a random, you know,
Now imagine if you're a zombie. Trying
yeah,
to
but also
get
a
to
random
that
guy
place.
is like, oh, I'm gonna go search for supplies. He's not gonna know his way around the building the same way you will. You'll be able to outrun him with that. As soon as you break the line of sight, you know.
An ice rink. So there's one ice rink I have in mind that is there's one entrance, no windows. What?
Also, I can't imagine zombies can move well on ice.
Yes,
You get some ice
exactly.
skates, you'll be able to
Unless,
dangle them up.
Wayne Gretzky turned into a zombie.
Yeah, but if he does, even Wayne
I'll take my
Gretzky
chances.
needs
he
ice
would still
skates.
score 100 points.
Wayne Glensky.
But also, zombies chasing you on ice. You're pretty good on ice skates. It's gonna be like a
that's just
they're gonna be
comical.
slipping and falling. It's gonna be fun.
It's
So,
adorable
and then-
is
so-
what it would be.
Yeah.
In my brain, I've developed that there's curling rocks everywhere because like this is a curling ice rink too. So like that would kill
An
me.
Wait, no,
Olympic size ice rink?
Yeah, you get up top and you just drop some
This
curling
is
rocks on
this
these
is about
zombies.
being prepared for the zombie apocalypse, not just saying, "Oh, let's say I'm on an ice rink with 80 curling rocks. Now I'm ready." You know, how do you get the curling rocks? How
I
do you
thought
get
we
it?
said we were creating our own
Yeah,
scenario.
it would be at the rink if it's
Well,
a
hold on,
curling
hold on.
rink.
Let me keep going because this ice rink that I'm thinking of also has a fantastic snack bar. They got like 30 different frozen things with like good fried food, chicken tenders, best popcorn in the game. They've
So
got
you're
every-
gonna live off of concession stand food.
I basically do now.
For a week. For a week, you'd be like, I'm living the life.
You're like, this
For
is
a
all I've ever
week?
wanted.
And then you run out of the concessions.
Yeah,
you would
Steve,
run out of
how
nachos.
much do you think they have? I was talking about a campus, and Sam's like, the dining halls are going to run out. Those dining halls feed, thousands of kids a day. You're talking about a concession stand.
So this-
They got 2
But
bags of tater
you have
tots
to adapt
and
to-
6 fries.
So this-
They're like the old story of like, you drop your baby off at a fire station.
Yeah, that was my other life. It's how
But that's always a thing in like old movies or something.
Yeah.
There's always...
From like
Why
a
is
doorstep.
that?
I don't know. It's never addressed. Is that a thing that ever happened? But either way, if someone needed to get rid of their kid,
Rufus, will you look that up? Look if
babies
kids are
were
actually
ever left
dropped at
The fire station.
fire stations. I guess babies.
where that like folklore came from.
Yeah, why
How
is
many
that?
orphans get dropped off at a fire station per
Per
year?
I would say
per
probably
year.
3.
And
every-
just look up 2019 because
2 days?
2020's
Per
data is probably not
100,000
complete yet.
population?
It's actually
Yeah.
safe haven laws.
Safe haven.
So
laws.
yeah, because they have to take them in or something. Is that a thing? I mean,
Oh, interesting.
so
So that's why we have so many
wow.
firefighters.
That's
Every-
true.
Every state has a safe haven law.
And are
Really?
they all fire
It's a way for
stations?
a person to safely relinquish an unharmed newborn baby without any risk of persecution.
Wow.
Oh,
How did we not know this?
man.
How, dude? The
That
world
would have
needs to
saved me a
know that.
lot of time
Well,
a few years ago.
apparently the world does.
I
know
got
because
rid of
in-
multiple babies unsafely.
Like apparently in movies we just accept it. So,
Yeah.
Like, apparently everyone does.
I love shit like that though in movies. That's just a
Babies
thing.
get left at
I-
fire stations.
no,
Oh,
like
yeah.
those
You
things
just
that
rock
we
off
just
that.
all believe that and move forward with. Like
So with
you just said, pretty good. Ice rink's horrible.
Adam and
if I have
I's,
80 curling rocks and unlimited concession
if it
stand
was
food?
anything short of 80 curling rocks, I would say it was pretty
You're
dumb.
fucked.
I think we're overlooking the fact that how effective is a curling rock?
Yeah, wait,
If
yeah,
you
no.
drop it from like
There's-
50 feet.
there's
maybe?
there's a crow's nest scorekeeper's table, and you would just drop it from there
And
all
just-
day,
Yeah,
day,
okay.
all day, day.
And then at a certain point, you go and you
Have to pick
lug
them
up these curling rocks that are probably heavy, right?
How heavy is a curling rock?
And you're doing a big like Santa's got a brand new bag. You're loading that up. You're doing. I mean, your calves and
You'd
forearms
have
are
to,
going to be
Kevin
unbelievable.
McAllister it and really
I-
plan ahead.
am jacked.
No,
I
you're
mean,
not.
44 pounds.
44 pounds.
Holy
that
holy
would do some
shit.
damage, I would say.
You were just going and you just drop. You just
And I was doing it
palm
with, like,
a
my wrist
one-handed
up.
curling rock.
I would want to just bunker down in a liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which would kill me first, the alcohol or
The zombies. Yeah.
Either way, you're going down in a blaze of glory.
See, I've always.
And you can always do fireballs like Adam used to do.
Exactly.
Just keep a
I
lighter
would
on you all
want-
the time.
Yeah,
Take a swig.
I would want a shotgun so you could throw the bottles and shoot them in the air, and then also a harmonica because I feel like that would just kill the time as well.
Yeah. See,
Just being in a liquor store, having on
And just raging.
yeah, just raging. If you're just accepting your fate that everyone that you've loved is now dead and a zombie, and then you just have like 150 proof.
What would you go for first?
The Rumplemans.
Are you serious?
I'd want to start it off with a bang, and then I'd switch it up, maybe a seltzer or two in between, and then I get the shotgun out.
That's a good point. What do you if you had one drunk drinking session left in you and you could only drink one alcohol, like kind of like a last meal in prison, you know?
Mine, it would probably be.
It's tough to not just say Bud Light.
Mine would probably be Woodford Reserve Whiskey Sprite.
See, I would
Whiskey is
either.
very versatile, so you could do whiskey Cokes, whiskey Sprites, whiskey
See,
Dr.
That's my favorite
Peppers.
drink.
Mine is probably Jameson, because once I get Gruden moving with
Whiskey?
Jameson, with just drinking it on the rocks, mercy me, people get in trouble.
I'd
For a
probably
lot
choose
less than
like
that.
something like Cherry Burnett's. I'd want to relive probably my greatest
Four
drinking
Loko.
years. And between the ages of 17 through 24,
Yeah, that's probably about right.
my prime years.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd probably be whiskey for me. To be honest with you.
And by the time the zombies get in, I'm gonna be so drunk that I'm gonna be like thinking they're actual people.
yeah.
And who
Just
knows?
like trying
Maybe
to hang
I'll be
out.
so drunk they think I'm a zombie.
Maybe
That's
we'll
possible.
persuade them.
Exactly. And then I'll take my shotgun out, or I'll play them a nice song on the harmonica.
Do zombies eat and drink? Outside
No,
of
they
people?
just eat people and they.
In my scenario, if we're playing by my rules on this one,
Yeah.
they drink.
Oh,
Alcohol?
They are.
so you
they're-
could turn this into like a party. I'm imagining the jellyfish scene from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
It'd be practically just like that.
But instead of jellyfish, it's deadly Franks.
Would be an Amish community.
That's the best one.
That's a really
I
good
feel like
one.
they've been preparing unknowingly for the zombie apocalypse for quite some time, millions, if not, of years.
Well, and
But-
it's just like it's a system that like is self-sustainable.
Sustainable, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like they do everything.
So the Amish are going to be safe, but how do you get in with the Amish? Because aren't they going to be a little pissed? We're living our entire lives not believing in their shit, like living doing our other religion or no religion, not living their way of life, and then the second you need them, you're like, hey,
Well, that's when
you're willing to
you
give me a
show
heads
up
up?
to like the farm or whatever it's called with like one of those boom boxes, and you're playing Weird Al's Amish Paradise, and I think you're in so quickly. with
That's
them.
not going to work.
No, I think it would. It talks about
And they're like,
all
hey,
their way
thanks
of
for
living.
bringing all the zombies here, because zombies love Weird Al. Everybody loves Weird Al,
You're-
actually, now that you
you're
think
right.
about it.
Running with Scissors, great album.
Yeah.
But we're getting-
Just imagine how awful you would feel if you get shunned.
Do you have to be able to grow a beard to be Amish?
It helps.
definitely helps.
Mustaches are not allowed in the Amish community.
Mustaches not
I'm out.
allowed.
Is that a real thing?
Is that a real thing?
It's all
Wild.
neck beard.
I'm
Well,
out.
most-
So for the longest time, I had no facial hair and short hair, and now that I have longer hair and facial hair, I love entertaining the idea that it's so much. You should have long hair and facial hair, because then if you have to disappear, you have to, like fugitive, shave and cut the hair. You can change so quickly. If you have short hair already and you have no facial hair, what do you got to wait for shit to grow
just gotta
out?
lay low for
you
a
know,
while.
and it's like, so that's why like Hitler had such a signature look, because everyone knew him from his mustache and his goofy hair.
You shave the mustache
He's-
off.
he
he's
shaves
just a
that
regular
shit.
Joe.
Who
Yeah,
is he?
exactly.
He's Frank.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
Frank.
He's Frank.
So like that's why you need really distinguishable facial hair and stuff. That's what people see in you. You shave
Right.
that, you can disappear. Either way, so my mom was at the Amish store, and there's this cute little Amish girl, little like with fucking bonnet and all that shit, and she goes on a thing talking about how she's like, and she was just so cute and adorable. It just reminded me so much of Adam when he was little. And I was like, and it's around all of my brothers and sisters, and I'm just like sitting there chilling, listening, and she says that, and immediately I'm like, what are you doing? What? And they, since then,
Roasted
just
you.
roast me like you would not believe,
Now
just
that you bring it
about
up-
being such a cute little Amish girl, and like
I
getting
was
me a
gonna
nice
say, yeah,
bonnet.
You have the
You
features of a cute
seriously
little
are.
Amish girl.
Fuck that. But and I
might
was
be
just
the
like,
cutest
I was like,
little Amish
Mom,
girl
I
ever."
have worked my entire life to get this rugged exterior and this persona I put off, and you blow it up in 1 second.
Well, if anything, that's a compliment because you can get both, best of both worlds. You can blend in as an Amish man or as an Amish cute little girl.
I don't want that. There's a
are no
lot
joke.
of sexual innuendos in the Amish community. Whittling sounds a
Whittling.
little sexual. Churning butter is an
butter.
innuendo.
Fetching water from the pail.
That I don't know about that one.
Oh,
I
I've
fetched
done some
water in my
whittling
day.
In my day.
Well, I'm Alex. You might need to fact check me on this one, but I think the Amish are known for being very hypersexual.
Yeah, they fuck
If-
hard.
They have on average 7 kids per family.
Yeah, kids. Do they have multiple wives? Because that might get me in.
No, they're Christians. I doubt it.
Yeah, but isn't Mormon just another branch of Christianity, and they have multiple wives? No, Mormons. They believe in like the same like
Same idea.
God and Bible,
brand.
but they got that guy Joseph something.
Stalin.
No, Joseph Smith. Is that the OG Mormon guy?
the more I don't know. Like I said, it sounds
God
like you.
damn it,
are
Steve.
very, sounds like you know a lot about Mormons.
Well, it's all from Hell on Wheels. I know a lot about Mormons. I know more about Mormons, toilets, and
Light bulbs.
than most other 25-years-olds.
That is the best brag I've ever heard. I
That's-
wish I could say the same.
I'm not going to say
I'd
toilets.
put money
I
on
bet I know some people who know more about toilets.
Buying the most the most optimal, energy efficient, and environmentally efficient light bulbs. I'm very passionate about.
Does it really take you that long to like look into it when you buy a light bulb? Can't you just read the box at the store?
Well, yeah,
so
you can
many
just
of them.
you can just read.
yeah, but if you read the
just-
box, you can just cross off all
you
the
can just
essentials.
go up to 60 watt. All right, this will work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not optimal. You know, it's not perfect. You're
Gotcha,
not
okay.
getting everything you want out of your light bulbs.
So Adam has a
I'll
light-
take you sometime.
Adam has a light
I
bulb.
would very much love to go light bulb shopping with you.
By desire, I would have probably built a strong relationship with Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation, and I would go to his cabin, like his hideaway cabin. He's got food there. He's got like an underground bunker. He's got guns, like a farm. So he's got like a bunch of things to eat.
Yeah.
And it's Ron Swanson. He's like the most self-sustainable person in the world. Like,
Yeah.
and also it'd be like an enjoyable, pleasurable thing. Like
Yeah,
he
it'd be
loves
fun
he
to kick it
loves
with
like
him.
good whiskey. That sounded sexual. It was not supposed to be sexual.
Though also he doesn't like people, and I like a
And
lot of
I'm
people, and
pretty
I don't
sure
even
you
like you that much.
do not
So
like
Ron
you.
Swanson probably wouldn't like you at all.
It'd be very
I
pleasurable.
forgot how
though.
much he hates people talking.
Yeah.
In general,
He's
And
gonna
I
have
would
beef
shut
with
the
you.
Hell up. Ever.
Really?
Have you
Like I'm
not noticed?
saying, I barely like you, and I think I'm fairly easy to get along with.
Are mine-
I imagine you could set up some like Star Wars Ewok style like ambushes in the City Museum. You have some big log swings,
there's-
like
well, there's those
Home Alone
caves.
Ewoks, style like
There's all those cave areas,
booby
too.
traps. I was just saying the City Museum. I
City
think would
Museum
be
would be a good
yeah.
one.
very conducive to ambushes. Like
and they
I
have
was
very
saying.
good pizza.
Yeah, but yeah, you and your goddamn concession stands.
I love concessions.
You need one
I think they have
vendor
Bosco
with
sticks
you
too.
who's like a teenager who
Well,
works
so-
at a
so-
concession stand. They would have to be with you. They would have to survive, and their main duty is
You
just
know
to
what
work the concessions.
would be fun would be like the Magic House, because those
Yeah.
are like wacky mirrors and
Or the
stuff
science center.
all around. But I think Magic House would be like I'd be a little. I mean,
Yeah,
Magic
Sam,
House
you're
can
wrong.
already be a little spooky to kind of go in.
Yeah.
And if it's a zombie apocalypse and you know someone's hiding in there, you turn around, you see a wacky mirror, and you're like, oh, and you're like, fuck it, I'm done.
Which
Yeah,
out
it
of
looks
those
like a
places has the
zombie.
better bathroom?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Most city and state paid for bathrooms are probably pretty good enough,
Oh,
you know.
I would disagree with
Well,
you.
the only thing that's bad about them is the level that they're used at. So if you imagine an apocalypse, everything's pretty sturdy. It's built to have 50 people taking a shit in it a day. How long is before you have
Powerful
to?
flushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, so you're gonna be able to, that toilet, 1 maybe 2 poops a day, is gonna last 100 years.
It's like
if it's
pa-
just
you.
you.
Can parallel it with during COVID when everyone was
Do
on
you still run in
lockdown.
water during a zombie apocalypse? Well,
I
then
don't
how would
know.
I make concession stand food would the deep fryers still work?
You're the only one with
This
the
is
concession
your,
stand
this is
food.
your fantasy, man.
Neither of us have that on
We'd
our
still
list.
have power. We'd still have power.
So then we're kind of back to the babe zombies.
Oh,
If they're zombie
babe
babes,
zombies.
do you become a zombie just to try to get in with
It's
them?
like a hot girl trying to convert you to like
A pyramid scheme.
See, I'd
Judaism.
Yeah.
call them babe franks.
I wanted to bring this up on the pod. If we get, I'll say when, optimistically, when we get this podcast to a level where we have enough viewers, we should try to invite people to write in relationship questions.
Oh,
and
that's a
we
great
call
idea.
it Smoking Darts and Breaking Hearts.
There is no one who would give better advice.
Yeah, and
than sweet Stevie
all
K.
we get a question, and we're probably not even getting one question per episode, but it's like we got one. It's like, actually, hey, we do get a question, this person, and it's light a cigarette, and it's as much advice as you can fit in the time of one cigarette, a minute and a half
This
or
sounds
however
like
long.
it could be a great Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah.
I sort of cook similar to the way that I paint, just with a whole lot of sexual rage.
What the fuck, man? Thank you for listening. If you listened this far, I guess tune in next time for the Standing O podcast. Purpose.